Morning, guys. Happy Saturday. I hope you had a great week. First week of 2024. Today we're going to be talking about Mullen. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things. The charts, the latest news, what's going to be happening this month. So it might be a longer video, so grab your coffee for this one, of course. Here's mine. All I ask is that you drop a like, you subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. What are you focused on this year in 2024? Let's make it the best year we've ever had, and let's get right into this video. So let's talk about year to date for Mullen. Right now, this past week, first trading week of 2024, with today being January 6th, we're down over 5% this past week, okay? The month, or even worse, the day, we were up over 5% yesterday. So what is this year going to look like? That is the question, because we have been invested in this stock for quite some time now. I know a lot of you that watch these videos have been invested even before me, right? I first got in September of 2022, started averaging down, was trading the stock pretty consistently until February of 2023. And then we all know what happened in February of 2023 all the way to pretty recently. 3 reverse stock splits happened, a ton of dilution, short selling, illegal short selling, naked short selling, all of it, right? Lawsuits. I mean, this has been drama filled this last year. And I think most of us just want clarity. We want to feel confident in our investment. But the question is, can we feel confident yet with Mullen Automotive? And I don't really know if I can feel confident 100% because I don't trust David still. I don't trust the board. You just look at the total share count they have. David has been gifted millions of shares. The board doesn't really hold any shares. Retail holds a ton more shares. Institutions have sold out of Mullen Automotive. So I think for me to kind of go back to having faith in the company and really believing in it long term is I need to see them buy stock out of their pocket, right? That shows confidence. A lot of CEOs do that, but David is not. The board members are not, right? David maybe has taken some money out of his pocket and threw it into the stock, but how much really has he taken out of his own pocket to put into the stock? It doesn't really build confidence in myself and in retail investors. So that's one thing I would like to see this year, preferably this month, so that we can keep the momentum up. Another thing that I want to see is RRDS news. So that's one thing I'm really excited about, looking forward to. I'll show you the latest news that they put out with RRDS. Now, I do think this is the news that can actually make this stock move significantly, right? And I'll show you the charts in a little bit, but this is the latest news with RRDS. Mullen and Rapid Response Defense Systems formally filed responses on November 24th, but get this, and expect confirmation and ruling within 45 days. So let's just look at 45 days out from November 24th. 45 days out from this date would be tomorrow, January 7th. That's not business days, that's just calendar days, right? It would really be tomorrow, and if we're not counting the 24th, and let's say we're starting on the 25th, then it would be Monday. So expect confirmation and ruling within 45 days. So tomorrow, Monday, but if we're just doing business days and not weekends, and we're also skipping holidays, which probably is true, like 45 days, you got to think of it, they probably are skipping holidays and weekends. So it would really be like the 26th, the 29th, or the 30th of January, give or take, right? Those are without the holidays like New Year's, obviously Christmas Day. I think we have another holiday coming up. So give or take, I would assume if they're doing business days, 45 days would be the end of January, all right? The other thing I'm looking for is compliance this month. So Mullen has to be over $1 by January 22nd. I feel confident now that they'll stay over $1. I think they will. I think we can bounce around from where we're at. I've shared with you all the inverse head and shoulders pattern that seems to be playing out. But at the end of the day, who really knows, right? I mean, I've been kind of saying this for PayPal also is forming it, which it seems like it is. I made a video on that on my page. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go watch that. I'm covering PayPal stock. But in regards to Mullen, this is one thing that I'm very excited to hear about, because I do think if they can lock this down. I remember when they first came out with this news, I think it was March of 23, and they put out so much good news in 2023, and I understand what they were doing. Like, yes, I think a lot of this is very real and can happen, but they also needed to get people excited, and that's what they did for all of retail, right? So if they can get this and lock this down, this could get very exciting because I do think the Class 1 van can play a crucial role. I mean, just on military bases alone, I'm a veteran, so I was in the Army for about 4 years, and I was on post, right? I was over in Fort Hood, Texas. I saw where soldiers went. I saw the vehicles, like they're transporting soldiers all day, every day. And just think about all the bases. If they can go EV, the Class 1 van, I mean, that's perfect. Throw in like 8 soldiers in there, and it's done. Save a ton of money on gasoline, and when vehicles break, like EV is the way to go. Even Brad has been saying this. I do think our world is going EV. I think, gas vehicles will always be around, but it just makes sense, right? So they have a reason that they're partnered with RDS. Who knows what's gonna come from it, but like I'm saying, this is something that I'm excited to hear about this month, right? So those are the 2 things, really. Compliance, which I think will easily happen. I mean, we've been trading sideways, and actually we've had some green days, and we're kind of holding support right now, making higher lows. So I'm not too concerned that we're gonna go back under $1. I'll show you the charts in a minute, and really what I'm looking for next, if Mullen still puts out the positivity and we still moving it, and we still keep moving in the right direction. But that's it, RDS, compliance, obviously more updates from Brad, which maybe I'll make another video this weekend. We've been texting a lot the last couple of days, and I usually share it with Patreon members, but maybe I'll share with you guys too. But of course, guys, if you want to join the Patreon or you want to support this channel, you can check out the links out down below. Would always appreciate that. We have an awesome community, but that's really what I'm looking for this month, right? Is RDS compliance, which will happen, more deliveries, more news with the vans and the Class 3 vehicles. And then the other thing that I am kind of concerned about, so in December, David put out this letter to shareholders, and he was talking about, I did not come to this decision lightly about the reverse stock split, and certainly took no pleasure in taking these initiatives, but in order for the company to survive and prosper, which is certainly in the best interest of all shareholders, the company needs to raise capital in 2024 to fund initiatives until such time as it is cash flow positive. Okay, let's read this. It needs to raise capital in 2024. But the most important thing that it says, until such time as it is cash flow positive. So is he saying that they're going to need to raise capital until they're cash flow positive? Do you know how long that could actually take for them to be cash flow positive? That's concerning. That's telling me that dilution is coming. Maybe they've been diluting the stock and it's been holding up steady a little bit, but what's gonna happen after they become compliant? That is a concern of mine, a very serious concern that everyone should evaluate, start to understand, and really think, well, is this the best place to put my money as of today, right? Of course, guys, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my own opinion. So that's really what I'm looking for. Kind of everything I've talked to you guys about in January, I think we're gonna get answers to all of this. Now let's talk about the charts for a second, because you can see it looks like we might have bottomed out down here. And I've been talking about this inverse head and shoulders pattern on a daily time frame that seems to be playing out. So far it's holding. We'll see what comes this week. I've shared with you all on videos levels we have to look for using a Fibonacci. So hopefully you're starting to understand that. And you've seen those videos. If you haven't, just go to my page. I made a couple this last week, so go ahead and watch those. But when talking about positive things for Mullen, and if Mullen can actually start moving in the right direction, which I think it can, you can see the RSI right here is actually breaking higher. And we haven't really ever done this on the RSI very recently. I mean, all of 2023, we didn't really do this. We had these little runs, but then we would just break down. Well, we're breaking this green line and obviously coming back, and now we're breaking higher, which means I think we can tend to run a lot higher. The RSI, the yellow line, also we're trading above it, which is really good. Stochastic is pointing up, which is also a positive thing. But really what we need to break, guys, is about 21, 22 bucks. And that's right up there. Okay, you can see we've tested these different zones right here, but we really need to break 21 for us to move higher, I think, even to start following a pattern. I think then we could get to maybe even $28 or even potentially $32 if we can break the 22 $2 spot, right? And these are just these are just resistance points. So another thing, if you want to base it off Fibonacci alone, and we do a full Fibonacci retracement from our lows, which stocks do all the time, just so you know. I know Mullen's different, and this is not a guarantee, but this equals $60, okay? Full Fibonacci retracement. Bam on X, if you guys follow him, over 100,000 followers on X, he's talking about $18 is possible, $60 is possible. It's his hidden retest zone. I think his whole model is based off Fibonacci, so basically he's probably saying that. And this is definitely possible. It's not impossible. It's just Mullen needs to not dilute the stock. Mullen needs to keep putting out good, positive news. Okay, we know they're in debt for $50 million that they're gonna owe here in a couple months, but they need to keep putting out good, positive news for this thing to actually run and start trading normal again. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Of course, do what's best for you. You can see a big volume block down here also. So if we can break this area, we can move much higher, right? So again, do what's best for you. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, drop a like. We'll see you on the next one.